This episode of Frag TV is brought to you by
the world's most beautiful nano reef tanks. Start your reefing adventure at reefcasa.com.
What is going on, my reefing fam? March here. This is Fragbox TV, and it is lunchtime. So we have our orange lunchbox. It's not lunchtime. This is full of corals. Joff here is trading in some corals out of his Reef Casa Studio 12 gallon, and he's a crazy person. And the thing was looking really good, and decided I'm gonna shut everything down and turn it into what are you turning into? Acro tank.
An acro tank.
Yeah, he wants trouble. He wants headache. He wants to get hard coral, hard to keep. Actually, his tank was looking. Let me show you really quickly. Looking really nice before, I guess, everything just came out and came to the store for a trade-in. Check it out. Here's the tank. Everything's in the bucket now, but look how good it is. The torches, some Montipora setosa, looks like some Alveopora there in the middle, just like a really proper grown out studio nano reef tank. And now it's all inside that bucket because why? Wait, why? Why do you want to do hard coral? What's the reasoning behind this?
I've never been able to keep acros. I can't get too much flow and my Euphilia look stringy. I don't like them stringy, so I'm just gonna do all acros and lots of flow. And we'll see. I've never been able to keep them before, but gonna give it a try.
So just do an aquarium dedicated to keeping just acro.
Just acros.
That's,
yeah.
You know what? If you really want to do it, look at this butter. If you really want to keep acro, that's one of the, like, they're hard to keep, but what you're doing is sort of the right way. Is just dedicate the tank to that one coral.
Yeah.
And then you can do highlight. You can do high flow. And if you're trying to keep, torch coral, you can see here that, that's about as much flow as they want. Maybe a little bit more than that. Our pumps are on a random setting. There's some hammer coral. Mushrooms, they don't really like that much flow. So if you're trying to keep, like he had in the tank, every single coral under the sun in a 16 by 15 inch tank, it's gonna get really tricky. These ones in here are more or less medium to low flow, medium to low light. So you see that everything is doing relatively well. And then same for your tank. Everything was looking fantastic.
Looking good.
But he wants the hard coral. He wants the challenge. So that's actually going to be pretty cool to see it fill up and see how it's going to look. So all of these pieces were grown from frags.
Those aren't from this.
Some Kenya tree. They're complaining they grow too fast. If you're looking for a coral that grows fast, that is definitely one of them. Let's see what other goodies. Typically, we don't take trade-ins here in the store. Not often. We do sometimes. We're kind of, I'm going to say it, we're coral snobs. We're picky. We know what we want and we like what we want and we like it and we get it. And the thing is, if we're open to all trade-ins, people tend to bring a lot of corals, like the stuff that grows well for them also grows well for us, and then we just end up sitting on a lot of bird's nests or a lot of xenia or a lot of certain type of zoa. So what I'm trying to say politely is, do not bring lunch boxes of corals to the store unless we've had some sort of email communication before. Ah, look at that. I manifested this one. Speaking of bird's nests, check it out. This looks like not a green goddess. What is it?
It is a green goddess.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a little bit light in color. Or maybe it's just because I touched it and the polyps have closed.
Yeah, when the polyps come out, it's nice and bright.
It's a little bit, what's the word? Like green goddess, I'm used to seeing it more clumped together. Like more bird's nest like, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But this one, the branches are quite far, but can change depending on light and flow. Structure can change a lot. I'm gonna stick them over here. This is another one, another very easy to keep coral in general, especially for hard coral. Look for bird's nest if you're looking to try some of your first ones. You really can't go wrong with those. When I hear of a customer killing a bird's nest, I'm very surprised. It's not something you typically hear of. It's quite often the opposite problem. They say, oh my god, it's growing so crazy, what do I do with all these corals?
Those are Mickey D's.
Some Mickey D zoas. Okay, let's grab these. Okay, Mickey D's. These are cool. They're orange and yellow. And this is one that doesn't grow too fast for us. Zoas in general do pretty well. We grow them out in the basement. But this one is a little bit slower growing for us. Not the best luck. So that's good that we got these. Let's see what else we got. The LPS, here we go. And what are you going to use for light for your new acro-dominated nano reef?
The halo.
Nice. So he's going to use the same one we're using here. We often recommend this one in the shop. It's the Reef Casa Halo Light. There's no acro in here, so it's going to be really cool to see what he's gonna load it up with and see what this light is really capable of. The PAR is definitely there. We've done lots of PAR readings on this tank. We have it turned down quite a bit because, like I said earlier, these sorts of corals really don't need that much light. If you throw them in the shade, if you throw them on an overhang, they're going to be more than fine. Like even if you go snorkeling or diving, you'll often see mushrooms growing on the underside. If you flip over a rock like Florida Recordia, the entire underside will be covered with these sorts of corals. They're definitely okay in the shade. Okay, look at this very sophisticated coral transportation method. Thank you, Ziploc. Okay, check this out. We have some gold hammer, a goldish hammer, sort of.
It's orange yellow. Oh, sorry, orange blue when it opens up.
It's beautiful. New York Knicks torch. Are you gonna miss these?
No, I kept the ones that I have an attachment to.
The ones that you established an emotional relationship with?
Or ones that were gifts I'm keeping.
If you guys don't know what I'm saying, maybe you're new to the hobby, maybe you're thinking to get into it, and you think that's a weird statement to be emotionally attached to the coral, you'll get it one day, trust me. You become attached to them. They almost become like a pet, like its own, how do you explain it? You become attached. You become attached.
This was the first tank I'd ever grown torches in successfully, so
yes.
I'm proud of that one.
I'm so happy to see them growing in a nano reef, because if you would have thought about starting a 12-gallon, I would say even as little as 10 years ago, it just, that wasn't really a thing. Okay, no, let's go a little bit further back. Let's say 15 years ago. So when I first started in the hobby, I would go into reef stores just to try and meet people and talk, because I didn't have a computer in the house. We didn't have internet when I first started. So the only sort of interaction I got was through stores. And I would often lie, because I had a nano reef at home, and I would tell people that it's bigger because they just looked at you. You were like this outcast, oddball. It just wasn't a thing. You didn't keep tanks smaller than 50, 75 gallons. And now it's the exact opposite. It's the norm. It's what you do. Nano reefs, I would say, 60-70% of the customers coming in this store have tanks between 10 and 30 gallons. This is probably the coolest one. They're all cool. They're all beautiful corals, but I haven't seen this in a while here. This is the Monte. Where did you find this? Setosa.
Setosa?
Yeah.
I have no idea. That is out of my that's gone from a fluval sea to an innovative lagoon 25 to the reef casa.
It just keeps moving.
And now I've got a piece of it in my bigger tank.
Such a cool piece. This is a Montipora setosa. Yeah, it looks really good. Very unique growth structure.
That's been through, bits of that have been through 4 different tanks.
Wow, that's pretty cool. We don't get this from the wild anymore. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you'd like, in the comments below. I'm pretty sure it's severely endangered. I want to say not near extinction, it's severely endangered, but somebody once told me that they're super easy for the divers that go out and collect them to see them on the reef. They're these bright, orangey red, cool looking Montipora that just stick out, and I think it was due to overcollection. I could be wrong, and if you feel like commenting below, I will definitely check that out, but I think I am right, and I think that is the reason. But after doing this for so many years, sometimes I get confused. And because he's going to be converting the tank from a LPS dominated to SPS dominated, you're going to upgrade the flow, right?
I get the CJ 1.0.
It's a larger return pump here in the back chamber. You can't see it because we have this very sexy filtration cover that's covering all the wires, and that's just going to allow for more circulation in the tank. I think he's going to upgrade his return line to the dual RFG that we're running here. That's the Reef Casa one. So it's just going to give it more power, more flow, and it's going to be better designed for keeping hard corals happy and growing and thriving in this little tank. No power head.
I'm going to try not to. I'd really rather not.
It looks better without, right? Kind of like on this tank here. We do have power heads, but they're hidden across the side. And the glass is really dirty. I don't know why I'm showing this right now, but if you can keep a tank without power heads, it's awesome. Obviously, you need the flow, you need the movement, but anytime you can try and hide the wires, get creative with the wires, even as something as simple as this. So you can see the magnets out on the outside of this Frag tank here, but what Tia did last week, we did a nice clean of this tank. Just ran the wires instead of how we had them on the outside, try to hide them on the corner along the inside. And this works well because there's no sand or substrate, but we just kind of shoot them all that way to give it sort of a streamline and clean look. Again, on this tank, we have 2 Nero 5s. Nero 3 or Nero 5? 2 Nero 5s on the back wall, so you can see them. I kind of wish, I like AI, I like the products, I kind of wish they didn't make the stupid blades in their livery colors, their tealy sort of green, because if they were black, they would be completely hidden across the back black of that tank. You wouldn't actually see them, but they've decided to brand them with that color, so we're left with these sort of blue funky looking spheres on the back. Just food for thought. I don't know if AI, you're out there ever watching our videos, or if your designers have, you know, or maybe I could just paint them and stop complaining. Some reef safe paint. So that's it. I'm excited to see. Oh, we have one of these still for sale. Actually, this is the exact same tank we're talking about. If somebody wants a complete finished tank, it comes with Tia included. Yep, she comes with the tank, and she'll take care of it, and she'll live with you. And it's only, why are you saying no? Say, let's get rid of the tank. Say yes.
I mean, sure, maybe.
Yeah, Tia's coming with the tank for the small price of $800, but we just dropped it actually to $6 because it's been here for so long, and we do need this space back in the store because we do have such a small store. So we're gonna follow along with our friend here, Jeff, as he sets up the tank, as he gets it converted over to SPS, and it would be really cool to see what someone is able to do with such a small footprint and really push the boundaries of nano reef keeping. If you enjoyed this video, if you have any questions, you can always hit us up and let us know. Our email is fragboxcorals@gmail.com. I see some red cyano starting on the sand here, which is good because that'll give us a topic for our next discussion, our next video. And we'll see you guys back here on the next one. Thanks for watching this episode of Fragbox TV. Bye for now.